If you have been chasing in love and you just can't get them to love you back, or maybe you are in a no contact phase and you would like to manifest them back, or maybe you're trying to manifest that desired relationship, or maybe you're trying to find answers how you can keep attracting quality relationships into your life because you have a pattern of attracting toxic partners into your life. So in today's video, you're going on a walk with me because it's a beautiful day. So why not go on a walk with me while I answer all the questions that are going to give you the answers that you are looking for. And guess what? I'm going to be answering questions that will completely blow your mind. So let's get started.
Have you ever had a client come in not believing in hypnosis at all, and what happened with them?
Let me think back. I think when I was doing things for free, when I was trying to learn and master the art of instant healing hypnosis, I would do it for free. And at that time, what used to happen was the results were like 50-50. And I realized the reason why the results were 50-50 was because when you don't charge someone, they don't believe in the perceived value of what you're offering. As the prices started going up, it got to a point where now I have 100% success ratio. Though I have had few cases where few clients asked for a refund, but since I'm an instant healing hypnotherapist and I can detect lies pretty easily, they just wanted to gain on the benefit and claim the money back. That happened with me.
Why do people keep attracting the same type of partner even when they know it's bad for them?
Let me give you an example. Why do you like pizza? You know it's bad for your health, but you know it tastes good, right? So, somewhere in your childhood, you were introduced to pizza. You tasted it, you loved it, and you developed a taste for it. And now, anytime you're going around, you can smell if there is pizza around. Your subconscious mind can detect pizza around you. And if it is your favorite food by chance, your subconscious mind will bring your focus on all the pizza places. That is because you have developed a taste for pizza. Now, even though you know that it's not good for your health, you still love when you eat it. No matter if there are going to be consequences of eating that pizza afterward, you just don't care. You get so immersed in the process of enjoying that moment. The same happens with relationship. The very first relationship we have is with our parents. And once we have that relationship, we observe how our parents interact with one another. We observe that, and if that is toxic, we think normally relationships are like that. Then we observe how our parents treat us. That puts a second layer on what we normalize in relationship. And how our parents treat us makes us normalize that kind of treatment in relationship. And that becomes a pattern, even though we know that is bad. But we have become immune to the consequences. We have normalized the consequences. And your subconscious mind works on survival. If you have already survived something before, your subconscious mind will not allow you to go towards anything else because it feels, what if that is risky or it might threaten your survival?
How has your approach in dating changed after you became a hypnotherapist?
A lot. Up until the point Up until the point I became a hypnotherapist. By the age of 30, if I count in the friend zone, I had approximately like 7 relationships back to back. And you would be surprised. In between my teenage up until the point I was 30, I had this relationship, and the only time I was single was for 8 freaking hours. And among those 8 freaking hours, I was sleeping for 6 hours. This is because you need to understand why. I know it sounds funny, but you have to understand why that is. I was seeking validation from outside. I wasn't having all that validation inside of me. I needed someone else. I was so codependent on someone else giving me that validation. Even if the relationship was toxic, I didn't care. I wanted validation. I never got the validation, but that was normal for me. So I kept sticking in those relationships. However, the moment it was time for me to emotionally bond with someone, I exhibited traits of avoided attachment style. I would avoid any kind of emotional intimacy because in my childhood, I didn't have a healthy way of expressing my emotions. So I became avoidant. I had no idea how to emotionally express myself. But ever since I became an instant healing hypnotherapist, and I am patient 0. I am the first patient who I tested all of this healing on. Ever since then, I think I attract far more proposals. But since I'm an instant healing hypnotherapist, I kind of can just sense within a minute or two it's not going to work out. And I can even predict what's going to happen, what her behavior is going to be, and what kind of conflict we are going to have, because we always attract what we feel inside, and I can tell she's not a version of me that I want to attract. But lately I've been attracting someone who is a reflection of exactly the ideal life partner that I want in my life. And in order to do so, I had to become a version of myself that I want to attract. She is into fitness just like I am. She's into spirituality just like I am. She is into human psychology just like I am. She's obsessed with occult science and practices just like I am. And a lot of our similarities brings us together. So you need to understand we always attract what we are feeling inside. So I focus on what I'm feeling inside, and that has changed my perspective on dating. I don't just promises or words don't get through me.
Why do some people not get results?
There is a very great example I can give you about why some people do not get results. You see, the modality of healing that I use, I take you to a part of your mind that reveals the lessons, and then you are supposed to practice those lessons. It's not like a magic, like you walk into my 15 days instant healing program, I spin my magical wand and everything is all heavenly and rainbows. No. Healing is a lifelong journey. You need to start practicing those lessons. Oftentimes, what people do is they practice their lessons for a while and then they go back to their old pattern. They stop practicing the lessons. And once they stop practicing the lessons, the results go away. The patterns start repeating again. The lessons that your subconscious mind reveal you are there to protect you from repeating your old pattern. If you do not follow them, the pattern reemerges.
What's the difference between someone who watches content versus someone who actually changes their life?
Let me give you a great example. What if you watch a lot of the content about people who are in gym, who are working out, versus actually going to gym. That's the difference. Watching something will influence you. Whatever content you consume influences your subconscious mind. That's only like 20% of the influence, but over a period of time, if you keep getting exposed to a particular type of content, over a period of time, you will get convinced and you might try it out. But you might not try it out with a lot of conviction. Or even if you try it out, it might take you a lot of time because your subconscious mind is being primed. So if you keep watching content about fitness, people lifting weights for a couple of weeks, after a while, it would motivate you to hit the gym. So the sort of content you consume starts influencing you. So it's good if you're watching the content, it's good, but it's always good to understand that consume the content, but start taking the action as well.
What's a small habit that has had the biggest impact on your life?
I think there's a saying, pain is inevitable, but suffering is a choice. And I think that is something that I live by. I come across moment in my life when things happen that can trigger pain. But that pain only lasts for 3 minutes because I choose not to suffer. I get inside my subconscious mind, I turn off that pain, and I'm no longer suffering. I'll tell you a funny story. When I manifested my ex back, I shouldn't have. I did it for scientific reasons. You know, things we do for science. And I was hoping I could influence her into healing and then there will be a happily ever after, which never happens. And then what happened is she broke up with me over the text in the same manner that she did before. But when she did it before, I collapsed. I lost all the hope. I was in a state of mind where I didn't feel like living and blah, 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 blah. This time, when she sent me the message, I read the message and my literal reaction was, okay. I kept my phone aside, closed my eyes, removed that pain, and 3 minutes later, I moved on. I was living my life and I was happy. I mean, if she's watching this, it took me 3 minutes to move on from you. That's who I am.